Welcome to Your Time Matters, where learning is fun and fun is learning. With your host, myself, D.W. Dick Powell, today's program will be brought to you by Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training and Development. If you're not planning your life, someone else is and will. We're broadcasting live here from the WOTG Gospel Radio Station, and we're coming to you, and our topic today will be raising your RPMs. You know, RPMs really stands for revolutions per minute. And RPM, I want you to start thinking of RPM as reality, passion, and motivation. We just went out and bought a new car, and it's first time in 22 years, so it's not like we really needed it or anything. But first thing I noticed was there was a tachometer. And wow, in my youth, this was the piece of equipment that I always had to add on to my hot rods and go fast cars. A tachometer, you see, is something that keeps track of your car or truck's engine's RPMs, revolutions per minute. It tells you when to shift from gear to gear, when the engine is about to blow up, and also how the car is doing. In life, sometimes we don't have a tachometer to keep us on track of our progress or to keep us running smoothly ahead. You know, keeping your motor running at the optimum RPM is the way to reach success. Now, reality in life sometimes is not very pleasant. In fact, sometimes it just plain stinks. And when it does, we need to stop and take a look inside and check under our hood in our head and ask to assess this, where am I right now? Don't wait for the engine to blow and what you've got to this, how you got to this point. What do I need to add or subtract in my life? Where do you really want to be, and what do you really want to be doing? Reality is where you're at right now. And I'm going to tell you, you need to always know exactly where you're at. Now, the P in the RPM stands for passion. Now, my granddad raised me, and he always said that if you live out your passion, the money will follow. And I know that sometimes it doesn't feel like that. I know that sometimes you feel like you have to work a job that you really don't like or you're really not happy in, but you can work towards that passion that you have. Well, believe me, when he told me when I was about 13, that statement that, you know, follow your passion and the money will follow, I didn't understand it. I didn't have a clue. But here's what it means. If you're just going through the motions, then you're going to get exactly that, just the motions. If you live to get that if you live to what gets you excited about life, what wakes you up in the morning, what's on your mind when you fall asleep, you will find a way to live out your dream. The M in the RPM stands for motivation. And I'm going to ask you this question is, what motivates you? Is it your significant other, your children, your parents, your siblings, your friends? Is it wealth? Is it time? Is it creativity? Is it freedom? Or writing? Just what is it that motivates you? What is it that you do that you're willing to get up and get going for? Why do you do what you do? Motivation is more than just passion, ladies and gentlemen. It is the very core for your being. Finding it, that is motivation. Finding it is never quite easy, but is what keeps you going on the path of your discovery. Well, here's what I found. In order to keep my RPMs running at their highest level without blowing up, I use a simple method. I do my daily 5. And these are 5 things that I do every single day, rain or shine, no matter what day of the week, 7 days, 24 hours a day, I'm looking at working on my daily 5. Now, as a speaker and an author and a coach, my daily 5 need to reflect what I am doing and what is pushing me forward. Your daily 5 are going to be different. You're going to find out what is it that you need to do every single day to push you forward. I'm going to share mine with you. Mine are this. I read, I write, I speak, I network, and I plan every single day, no matter what. Now, I do that because if I'm going to be an author and speaker, I must read. I've got to find out what's going on. Also, how are other people doing that? If I'm going to be a writer, I'm going to tell you, You have to write every single day. You can't miss a day. You have to take and get down your thoughts and what's going on around you. I speak everywhere. It could be in the grocery store line. It could be to someone standing next to me at paying bills. I'm going to speak somewhere, whether it's on stage or it's in person. I'm going to network, and networking is exactly what it means in my business, and I'll bet in yours. If you're not being seen and heard, you're not being seen and heard. So if people don't know about you and they don't know what you can add to them, they don't know about you. So you have to get out there. And networking is exactly what it is. It takes work, it takes practice, and we could talk about that another day. The last piece on mine is I plan. Every day, before I go to bed, before the day before, I always make my plan for the next day. And I do this with a day runner. I do it in my computer. I do it on my phone. Whatever works for you is what you need to be doing. Now, here's the question. Do you need help getting your RPMs up so your engine is running at maximum warp speed? Well, if it is, I want you to go, or if you're having trouble, I want you to go to ewfw.org. And I want you to click on it, make an appointment for your free 30-minute phone conversation with me, Dick Powell. And I will help you get going, getting your engine running back to that peak and optimum performance. Well, I want to thank you for listening today. This has been Your Time Matters, right here with DW Dick Powell as your host. And until next time, Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training Development says this: if you're not planning your life, I guarantee no one else is.